I want to kick off to talk a bit about your new boy, Saffee. You have brought in Saffee to the roster this year. What does he bring to this FURIA roster?
Safi is definitely a more experienced Alper, and he's a very skilled Alper. So that's what we have been looking for since Henny left the team. So that was like 2 years ago, I think, 1 year and a half, something like that. And now we have like a skilled Alper again. So that's what we're looking for.
What kind of character is he, both on and off the server?
He's very chill. He's always chilling. He doesn't get upset. Uh, He's a person that likes to learn and listen, so he's definitely a very nice teammate to have.
Saffee is kind of a late bloomer with him entering Tier 1 CSGO at the age of 27. How could that come?
I think Safe was playing CS from all the way back on point six. I think he knew him back then, and he also played little CS:GO in the start. But he left CS:GO scene to go for other goals, and he came back to the scene after some time. So I think he always knew how to play CS. He just tried to play it professionally this time.
He had a good spell and pain, but what do you think his ceiling is in CSGO?
It's hard to say because when you play Taiwan events on LAN or even online, it's a different atmosphere, and when you change teams, it's also different roles. So you have less space or more space to play on certain maps. So definitely it's gonna be like it's also a Furia way of playing is harder for the Alpers who join the team. So he needs to adapt for the playstyle and find his pace in the game, you know. So that's gonna take a while to see how he's gonna play and reach his peak again on Furia.
Why is it harder for an AWP to join FURIA?
Because we are used to play fast paced and we also like to play a lot of rotation and moving around the map. So that's harder for an Alper who is trying to be focused on the aim or get like good angles and hold. So he has to rotate a lot and fill gaps and play like a more different pace than Alpers are used to. So that's harder to people when they get in Furia.
Talking about FURIA and the team, what are you and the guys' expectations going into this year?
Uh, Expectations for me personally, it's always like last year. I said the same thing. For me, it's mostly getting to the major playoffs and win the major. That's the biggest goals I have on my career right now. So of course, being like top one, JTV or being the best in the world is also something that everybody wants to achieve. But for me, just like winning a major would be the biggest achievement.
There are a lot of strong and new teams in G2, Vitality, FaZe, and so on. But do you think FURIA can follow suit?
Uh, Yeah, I think nothing really changed much about this kind of teams. We have playing Navi for a long time, and we even played Navi with the current roster before we have had Safe. So I think we are also stronger right now. We did not have the opportunity to play them yet, but we're gonna play soon. I think in 1 week or 2 weeks, we're gonna play them pretty soon. So we're gonna see.
You guys went on a quite early tournament break, playing no matches after the major back in early November. What have you used this relatively long break to?
Yeah, for the last year, we are in the process of getting safe into Furia. So we also did not have any tournaments to play for the end of the year. Maybe we had like one small tournament to play in December. So it was not worth to prac 1 month without the roster complete before we get safe to play first because he had still to play tournaments on Pain before he joined Furia. So we kind of have like after the major, like 1 month and a half or 2 months. Uh, where we cannot do anything about it. So we just need to wait for the next year so we can get the team going again and pracking again. So on January we start pracking, but also there was no tournaments to play yet. So we just played our first tournament at the end of January. But of course it sucks to play tournaments so far apart because it's a very important thing to be uh, playing tournaments after tournament. You're gonna get way better when you do that. So you get cold when you don't play tournaments for a long time.
How are you and the team feeling going into this ESL Challenger, but also the IEM Katowice tournament?
This past week and a half of breaking were the most like not useful, but the most where we got the most insights about our team and we improved the most. So right now I'm way more confident than I was last week because we are catching up with a lot of stuff. We only had like 2 weeks of breaking before the tournament we played last week, so you're gonna have I think 4 more days of breaking before we play a tournament again. So I think that's gonna be all we need to get back on our feet.
I want to go back 2 years. In a span of 2 months in 2020, you and FURIA won DreamHack Open Summer, ESL Pro League Season 12, and IEM New York. That result, these results helped you secure a peak ranking as the first bet team in the world. Why do you think FURIA isn't at the top of CSGO anymore? At the very top?
Last year we struggled a lot with lineups. We changed the roster 3 times. I think that was 3 times the year. So definitely that impacts on the rankings and also in within the team, like the skill of the team is gonna go down because you're changing players, changing roles. So you're messing up with the team and you have to adapt for the new guy, and we change positions and roles. So it's gonna always be uh, trailing behind, you know. So that was the only reason that we are like a little behind. This year, I don't think anything changed from our peak on the last year or the year before that. So I think that's we are way stronger right now with this lineup than we were ever before.
Have dominated the South American and NA region over the last couple of years. But what should it take for you guys to do the same in Europe against the very best?
Right now, I would say that we need to prac a lot because we still have to put the pieces together within the team because of the new players, drop and save. Because whenever you change an upper, that's a big thing. You need to change a lot of stuff. So you need this like first 2 months or so, like 4 tournaments, to just put the pieces together. After that, I don't think you can improve a lot more from bracking. You improve way more when you play tournaments and you learn from that. So I think that's when you get the ball rolling. You need to start winning tournaments so you get your confidence up, and that momentum is what keep good teams in the top. So some good teams they are good, but if they are like a losing streak, they're not gonna win everything. They need to start winning so they can get confidence back and start like a snowball momentum. So I think that's what we're looking for in the half of the year.
I want to touch a bit on your personal stats through the years. You're still one of the best entry fraggers and one of the best opening kills ratings. But looking at your career and your rating, your just overall rating, you have dropped down a bit. In 2017, you have averaged a 1.8 rating. In 2018, it was 111. But in the last 3 years, it has been around 1. Um, this statistic decline, is that because you have taken up new roles or positions, or do you just see it as your own game falling down a bit?
Uh, it's a little of both. I would say it's always better when like the main upper in the team, and that happened for like some of these years when they had like Abo J and Vinny. And after that, when you had like only Drop and Vinny and Honda and Vinny, so whenever we had these combinations, I was the main upper. And of course, when you are the main upper, you have to frag way more. So I was playing more passive positions. I was not entering a lot. So whenever I'm not doing entries and not upping, of course it's gonna go down because I need to go first. And usually when you go first, it's a 50-50. Because if you go first and you are always killing the first guy, that means that you're gonna win like 80% of the rounds. That's very unlikely. So if I knew that and my rating is 1.1, 1.1 or 1.2, that means that we are winning every tournament in Earth, you know. So that's very unreal. So of course, when I'm back to my main role, which is interfragging and getting space, that's gonna be more like a 50-50 battles. So that's gonna make my rating be around one.
I want to ask you which team you see as Navi's biggest competitor this year. Who has the chance to for dethroning Simple and company?
Uh, like to be honest, when I watch Navi play, I don't think they are like unbeatable or they are top one team in the world by far. I think it's very close margins. I would say so that G2 right now is in the best shape to uh, outthrone Navi, if you can say so. Like if they play a Tier 1 tournament, grand finals, and they're both there, I think G2 has a better shot right now. But I think as the months go on, like maybe the second major or even the second tournament that's gonna be happening, I think there's a lot of teams that can win against Navi.